Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lee.
Ito po kami. Maraming pong salamat po at saka mag-start na po ma'am.
Thank you, Lisa.
Maraming pong salamat po at saka
Thank you, Lisa.
maraming pong salamat po at saka mag-start na po ma'am. Maraming pong salamat po at saka mag-start na po ma'am. Maraming pong salamat po at saka
Lisa, nag-feedback pa ulit-ulit. Bong.
maraming pong salamat po at saka mag-start na po ma'am.
Wala. Wala ang sound. Wala yung sound sa inyo, sir? Naa? Wala sa ako. Wala. Yan. Ako sound yan. May sound dito? Wala ko sound. Wala ko sound. Hindi ko madunggan. Ha? Wala yung istorya? Wala. Hello? Naka-off ka, sir? Wala gay ko sound. Wala yung mas nagdungog.
Naririnig kita, Tiglo.
Wala ko yan. Ako sound. Ano? Hindi ko kadungog. Start na ko diretso.
Yung ating Facebook Live, nagloloko.
Dungog mo siya.
Sino nag-administer?
Pwede na ako mag-start.
Monitor ako sa live natin sa FB, may problema.
Sige, ma'am.
Ito.
Papatingnan.
Ha?
Okay na? Nag-okay na.
Okay na.
O, click mo sa message. Sige, nagalagyan. Wait lang. Hindi mo lang ako. Mas ako cellphone. Nakadunggan na ako dyan. Start na ko. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to all our viewers.
Siglo ay nakamute. Nakamute siglo, hindi naririnig. Walang sound siglo.
Balik ko na po.
Okay na.
Okay. Madunggan ko. Mic test. Madunggan ko dito. Mic test. Mic test. Balhin na lang lagyan ko. So, para sure.
Laptop mo ko na.
Madidinig mo ako, Sir Vanny?
Yes, naririnig ka.
Parang may problem sa...
Naririnig ka.
Madungog mo na po yan.
Naririnig ka, Tiglo.
Asekla, narinig ba ako?
Yes, naririnig ka lang.
Okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to all our viewers, our cooperatives from all over the Philippines, and the CDA from regions 1 to the regions of CAR, NCR, Caraga, and also of the BARM, the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Maayong hapon sa tanan ng mga cooperatives nato in Mindanao, in the Visayas, and maayong hapon dira sa inyo sa mga kasimanwa ko sa Iloilo, and magandang hapon po sa lahat ng taga Luzon, and good afternoon, good day, or good evening to all those who are watching us from all over the world, because we are running live in the CDA FB page, the CDA Philippines, and while you are watching us from your own time zones, we are running the Koops e-forum today at 2 to 3:30 p.m. This is the first program of the CDA that will follow to run every first and third Wednesdays of the month. I am Gloria V. Barrido of the CDA Cagayan de Oro, Region 10, assigned to be the moderator for today. Ladies and gentlemen, our cooperatives from all over the Philippines, the Koops e-forum is created as an information and advocacy program of the CDA and designed to answer to the call of the times now that we are on to the new normal as brought about by the outbreak of COVID-19. With the Koops e-forum, we hope to bring you relevant information about the CDA and the updates in the cooperative movement all over the country. The CDA would want to reach to the cooperatives and still engage in discussions with them as we make use of virtual platforms
CDA Philippines.
and still adhering to the protocol of physical distancing. So anyone watching us can have their reactions in the comment box. If you're watching us through the FB page, again, it's CDA Philippines. And as an online discussion, the e-forum will run for about 1.5 hours. That should be 2 to 3:30, and again, every first and third Wednesday of the month. As a forum, we will be having resource persons or presenters and discussants, and we will take note of the reactions of our viewers, our participants in this forum, any comments, any questions, and recommendations, and we will bring them on air to be answered. And for today, this is the soft launching. Again, this is the Koops e-forum, and we have designed the program to bring to you for today, for this soft launching, the CDA's initiatives as well as the cooperative sector's initiatives while on ECQ due to the COVID-19 crisis. We will also be presenting to you the comprehensive action plan to mitigate COVID-19 today. And we will also, that will be for the presentation for today. And we are also joined today for the soft launching, the first forum that we will be launching, the Koops e-forum. We will be joined by our board of directors of the CDA. And I would like to acknowledge who are with us today. We have our Executive Director, Ray R. Elevaso. We have also the first to join us this afternoon is our Assistant Secretary, Vidal D. Villanueva III. And we have the only lady Assistant Secretary, Board of Director of the CDA, ASEC Mirla B. Paradillo. We also have our Assistant Secretary, Pendatun Penny Disimban, with us today. And we are also expecting the rest of the members of the Board of Directors to be joining us this afternoon. And we will be giving them time for their messages before we start with the presentation and the discussion for this afternoon. And I would also like to, marami na pong nagwa-watch sa atin. There are people watching us today now. And where can I get that information of how many na? There are 871 joining us in this e-forum today as of this time, and maybe there are still others na magjo-join pa sa atin. I also would like to acknowledge Asep Sam Ginomla. He is with us now today. He's joining us. And then we have, I can see we have from Havila Kasamapa Savings and Credit Cooperative saying good afternoon and is joining us. Maayong hapon and good afternoon or magandang hapon kung saan po kayo na lugar sa Pilipinas. We have, I can see we have Bumaga Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative. Good afternoon din sa iyo. We also have our CDA personnel from all over the Philippines watching us. They're saying good afternoon, and we also have from Government Employees Multipurpose Cooperative of Sorsogon City. Good afternoon po, magandang hapon. We also have from Bicol Organic Agriculture Cooperative. Para yata hindi ko maisa-isa ito, meron din Kabakan Seed Growers, MPC. So it's from all over the Philippines. And we are being watched. And I know that, kasi ang Facebook, malayo kasi ang reach. Malapad yung reach niya. And I even asked my relatives from the States to watch. Kasi nga it's first time ko. And it's the first time for CDA to have this co-ops e-forum. So meanwhile, we will take note of, I would also like to acknowledge we are now being joined by Asset Abad Santos. Good afternoon, sir. Magandang hapon po. And later, we still have, we will be joined later this afternoon by Asek Lasaga. Parang si Asek Lasaga na lang ang wala. But before that, while we will wait, we cannot wait for him. He will just be joining us. And meanwhile, we will hear some messages from our CDA board. We will start with the youngest member of the board of directors of CDA. Not that he is the youngest because he is the youngest, he is the first to speak, but in fairness, siyang pinakaunang pumasok sa, nag-join sa atin. Ladies and gentlemen, mga cooperatives natin all over the Philippines, we would like to present to you our board of director of the CDA, who heads the credit and financial cluster. We have Asek Vidal D. Villanueva III. Asek Vidal, for your message po.
Thank you, Ma'am Gloria. Undersecretary Orlando Rabanera, the Chairman of the Cooperative Development Authority, Assistant Secretary Mirna Paradillo, Assistant Secretary Sam Ginanda, Assistant Secretary Penny Isulban, Assistant Secretary Abad Santos, Administrator Ray Ilivaso, my CDA family, cooperative leaders from different parts of the Philippines, my dear colleagues in government service and in cooperative movement, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I just would like to thank all of you, our dearest cooperative leaders, for responding to the call of your cooperative development authority to extend assistance to individuals and communities during the most difficult time in our human history, the COVID pandemic. Thank you for utilizing your community development fund in responding and helping our people all over the country, and even spending beyond the amount stipulated in your community development fund. Thank you for your generosity and thank you for your cooperation. Because of that, the Filipino people experience the spirit of bayanihan. And now, as we journey towards the new normal, I appeal to all of you once again, my dearest colleagues in cooperative movement, to continue supporting our people, our members, and our communities so that we can revive the lives of our Filipino people and their livelihood. I would also like to appeal to you to continue what you have done and what you have started in helping more of our members. And I thank you all for your support. And also, I would like to appeal to our cooperative leaders, especially to those in the finance cluster, to support me also as I go all over the country when this pandemic will have its cure, because I will be going all over the country for the six organization of the finance cluster. So I would like also to appeal for your support and for your help so that I can finish the formation of the Apex organization for the finance cluster, where I can consult in circumstances that I need to consult matters important and affecting the finance cluster. That's all. And I pray that Senior Santo Niño of Cebu will continue to bless all of us and will continue to protect all of us Filipino people. God bless and mabuhay. Tayo na. Thank you, Ma'am Gloria. Nawawala yung host mo.
Thank you very much, Asek Vidal, Villanueva. Thank you very much, and we look forward to your going all over the country. Kung sana mawala na itong fear. Hindi naman siguro mawawala si COVID pa, but we can, if hopefully, but if we can manage to go around the country to continue serving our people. Thank you very much again, Asek Vidal. And
Thank you so much.
for our next bit of the record to give his message, we have charge of the cluster representing the consumers, marketing, producers, and logistics cluster. We have with us this afternoon Assistant Secretary Pendatun Kenny B. Disimban. Admin Sir Penny, Asik Penny. Good afternoon po.
Yes, Ma'am Gloria, salamat. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Isang maganda po sa lahat. Ang akin pong pagpapati at pagkala sa kasama ko sa board, sa CDA, sa panguna namin Chairman Orlan Rapanera, sa mga kasama ko sa Paris. Welcome ko rin po kayo sa launching ng na ito at napakalaking po sa atin at platform na ganoon. Ay tayo po ay nagkakaroon ng pagtutulungan o pag-sharing ng idea na lalaki po natin yung situations ng ating mamamayan, lalo na yung kooperatiba sa buong Pilipinas. Ngayon po, Chairman, ay under QP o General Community Quarantine ng buong Metro Manila at ilang probinsya. Ganon din ng karamihan sa probinsya sa buong Pilipinas ay under Modified Community Quarantine. Lahat, no? Pinapayagan na rin yung ilang sektor na magtrabaho. Pinapayagan din na mag-off. Pinapayagan din yung ilang mga mamamayan na lumabas sa ilang tahanan. Pero sa ganitong sitwasyon, sa ating mga kababayan, ay huwag po tayong maging kampante sa binigay sa ating ganitong pagkakataon sapagkat yung ating laban against COVID-19 nandyan pa rin. No? Kaya dapat manatili pa rin tayo na kung wala tayo talagang importanteng pupuntahan sa labas, napili tayo sa ating mga tahanan. Kasama na yung mga co-op members sa buong Pilipinas. No? At yun naman pinapayagan lumabas ay panatiliin yung physically social distancing, face mask, mag-suot, maghugas ng kamay, o sundin yung mga pinag-utos ng ating pamahalaan. Nang sa ganon, ay tuluyan tayong makaiwas sa COVID-19. No? Tayo ay mapalad na mayroon tayong pamahalaan sa pangunan ng Presidente Rodrigo Roa Duterte na mayroon pong malasakit sa kapakanan at buhay ng mamamayan kaysa ekonomiya ng ating bansa. Tama rin naman po yun na dapat pangalagaan ang buhay ng tao sapagkat ang buhay, pag nawala mo na pwede ibalik. Pero ang ekonomiya, bumagsak man ito, pwede mo pa rin ibangon at iangat. Kaya mapalad tayo na meron tayong presidente tulad ng ating Pangulo, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. At ganun din, ating pasalamat sa ating Senator Bong Go sa kanya pong pagmamalasakit din po sa ating sektor, no? Sa kanyang panawagan na ating co-op sector ay tumulong sa pagbibigay ng sa ating mga kababayan kasama ng CDA, no, na pagbibigay ng mga authority sa co-op na gamitin yung kanila community development fund para tulungan ang ating mga kababayan sa buong Pilipinas, lalo na yung mga leader ng kooperatiba. At tayo po ay nagpapasalamat dahil ang aking pagkakataon, Chairman, halos umabot na sa 1 billion ang financial assistance ang naitulong ng kooperatiba sa ating mga kababayan sa buong Pilipinas. At umabot na rin sa almost 350 million in cash ang naitulong natin. Ang laking bagay po ito ang nagawa ng ating kooperatiba. At tayo ngayon ay nagpapatunay lamang na pagtulungan at tumutulong po tayo sa ating pamahalaan at ang kooperatiba at ang sektor na ating pinagsisisihan ay nagkakaisa tayo ngayon para labanan po natin itong COVID-19. Sabi po dito po ako ngayon sa Marawi City kung saan ibang-ibang sitwasyon namin dito dahil 3 taon na po kami dumanas after 2 years na magkaroon ng Marawi City. Meron pa rin po nasa evacuation centers na nakatira o nasa temporary shelter. Kung yung Marawi City na napakahirap yung naranasan natin, mas mahirap po ang sitwasyon ngayon sa COVID-19. Hindi natin alam ang sipang kalaban natin, kung nasaan ang kalaban natin. Pwede tayong tamaan ng COVID-19. Hindi tulad ng gera, alam natin kung saan kagaling yung bata, saan tayo iwas. Kaya kailangan dito po ang pagtutulungan. At umasa kayo, CDA ay nandyan po sa pangunan ni Chairman at Board of Administrators at Board of Directors. At ang aming mga regional directors, nakakaasa po kayo na kami tulong sa inyo mga pinagsisilang aming co-op at pakipagtulungan din po sa ating pamahalaan. Maraming salamat, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much po, Asek Penny. And meron pong nagre-request dito. Alam po natin na merong audio glitches po. We are trying yung mga natin dito, mga administrators natin dito for this e-forum are doing their best to fix the problem. Request lang po na while hindi kayo pero parang nakamute na. Kung sino lang po ang magsasalita, yun lang ang i-on natin yung microphone po. Sa ating mga presenters natin and sa ating guests, yun pong request. Para meron pa rin pero we are trying to fix the problem po. Doon po sa mga nag-leave ng mga messages sa comment box po ng Facebook natin. With regards yung sa parang audio problem. Trying to fix it again. We are trying to fix it and we are medyo konting But we have to go on. And again, thank you very much, Asik Penny. And
Microphone on.
dapat na nabukan ko. Iba request. Hello. Hello. Mic test. Okay na. Sir Sam? Sir Sam, i-introduce kita ulit, Sir Sam. Well, medyo nagkaroon ng ano. We will be requesting you to give a message, and I would like to introduce again.
Yes.
Yeah, Sir Sam. Yes, Sir Sam, I would like to introduce, to give us a message, is another board member of the board of directors of CDA, representing the education and advocacy cluster, as Assistant Secretary Abdul Salam A. Ginomla. Sir Sam.
Yes, maraming salamat, Flo. My respect to our Yusek Orlan Rabanera, my colleagues in the board, Asek Clark Paradillo, Asek Dato Penny Disimban, Asek Badi Santos, Asek Boy Lasaga, and Asek Villanueva. And of course, Administrator Iberi. Good afternoon to everyone. It is a great pleasure to be part of this activity, the launching of the Co-ops e-Forum. This is an online platform of the CDA to discuss relevant information beneficial to cooperative sector through video live streaming as well as authorities communication, sharing through live broadcasting, especially during this time that we are facing a crisis situation due to the common coronavirus. We are observing community quarantine in which social mass gatherings is strictly prohibited. Bagamat ang CDA ay hindi tumitigil sa paghahanap ng pamaraan upang sa ganon ay maabot natin ang lahat ng ating sector, cooperative sector, entire Philippine archipelago. This scheme, the Co-op e-Forum, is a great opportunity for all cooperative sectors in the country to reach out and interact with one another in a more convenient manner. It is also a virtual platform to easily communicate new administrative issuances, and other related guidelines of our office. I urge everyone, therefore, to please continue working together in the name of unity in order to reach more the apex of development and achieve the brighter years ahead. Let us work together for a better Philippines. Let us secure better future for everyone. As I understand and I know that cooperatives are the crucial partners of the government to combat poverty. Lastly, I would like to commend the members of the cooperative entire Philippine archipelago who are joining this activity. I salute you all. And this is my advice to everyone. Be patient, because fruits of being a patient is a very sweet one. Please aim more higher, do more, and be more. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, ASEC Sam. Maraming salamat po for the time to be with us today. And nakikita ko po, we have now 1,000 viewers sa ating Co-ops e-forum today. At this moment, we have 1,000 viewers. And thank you very much. There are marami na pong mga co-ops na nag-join na po. And thank you very much also for your patience with the audio problem we have earlier. And to continue, we shall have the message, a short message also from our board of director, assistant secretary who is in charge of the public utilities, electricity, water, communications, and transport. Mga kooperatiba natin sa buong Pilipinas, please welcome Secretary Abad, ASEC Body, ASEC Body, for your message po. Sir Badi. Sir Badi, parang naghang. Ayan. ASEC Badi, good afternoon po. Nakamute po si ASEC Badi. Okay. Good afternoon po, ASEC Badi. For your message po.
Magandang hapon sa lahat, especially the cooperative sector. My warmest greetings to the co-op sector, especially the public utilities composing of the transport cooperatives, our electric cooperatives, the water and communication cooperatives. This will be the first time that the CDA will conduct this co-op e-forum through video conferencing. Timely done during this pandemic that we are experiencing now. And being the head of the Oversight Committee on IT for the agency, I just hope that this co-op e-forum shall become the avenue for a continuing series of fora dealing on topics that shall redound to the benefit of each and every cluster. I would like the organizers of this forum to feature the best practices of cooperatives in every cluster so that aspiring micro and small cooperatives can draw inspiration from their experiences of these successful cooperatives. I am inviting, therefore, the cooperatives, especially from the public utilities cluster, the transport cooperatives, who have been very active during these times of pandemic, giving libreng sakay, especially those modern jeepneys. No? Napakalaki ng role po ng mga ng transport natin at yung iba po ay hinire ng mga LGUs. Our electric cooperatives who have been patiently also giving, maski na hindi natin maiwasan na may mga brownout pa rin, ang ating mga water service cooperatives to listen and to join this cooperative e-forum. Gusto ko sana na maging series ito. No? So therefore, to the organizers of this forum, CRITD and the MIS, and to our chairman, Orlando Rabanera, to my fellow board members, Asek Lac, Asek Vidal, Asek Sam, Asek Penny, and Asek Boy Lasaga, and to our Ibere Elevazo, and the rest at the central office, my deepest congratulations for having this co-op e-forum. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon sa inyo lahat.
Thank you very much, Asek Abad Santos. Asek Badi, thank you. Maraming salamat po. And yung wish po ninyo, Asek Badi, matutupad talaga. This forum will be continuing. Yeah. And I think in the another we are scheduled to be on air on every first and third Wednesdays of the month, and I think in one of the Wednesdays of July, meron na po sigurong naka-schedule na kayo po ang kayo ang mag-represent, representing the cluster that you are yung sa transportation sa
Okay. Salamat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is taken. That is point taken, sir. Thank you very much. And magandang hapon, sir. And I would like to, I would like to have the count now. Live watching us is already 1,001 viewers. We have 1,100 viewers at this very moment, and I would like to acknowledge watching us from San Francisco. Sabi ko na nga kanina, worldwide tayo. This is from San Francisco Water Service Cooperative, but that's San Francisco of Cebu. Maraming salamat, San Francisco Water Service Cooperative. We also have viewers from St. Francis Development Cooperative of Baler, Aurora. We also have from Coasco, MPC, magandang hapon po sa inyo. And from Negros Oriental 2 Electric Cooperative of Dumaguete, maayong hapon and magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. And to continue, we'll have more of our assistant secretaries, our board of directors of the CDA to give us a message. And as of this time, we will have to hear from the lone lady, Assistant Secretary of the Cooperative Development Authority, representing or taking charge of the Human Services, Health, Housing, Workers, and Labor Service Cluster. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Assistant Secretary Mirla B. Paradillo. Asek Lac. Good afternoon po.
Thank you very much, Glo. Magandang hapon sa lahat, lalong-lalo sa mga cooperative na talagang tumugon sa panawagan natin na mag-join. Magandang hapon po at sa aking mga kasamahan sa CDA. Magandang hapon sa lahat ng board, kay chairman at Edere at sa the whole CDA family. Magandang hapon po. In almost 3 months, we have been closely followed the pandemic COVID-19 and its evolving impact. I wish to convey everybody that CDA is with you all and your communities in this unprecedented time of uncertainty. In the face of an overwhelming wave, a bad news arousing public fear and finger pointing, what we need right now is cooperativism, where the principle of concern for the community is highly commendable. There are thousands of inspiring, creative, community, and cooperative responses to this crisis. And these stories must be told and widely shared. Hindi po natin ito palalampasin na hindi malalaman ng sambayanan kung gaano naging katuwang ang mga kooperatiba sa mga panahong ito. Personally, I would like to thank the cooperative sector for helping and reaching out community, especially their members, to cope up with the effects of this pandemic. Indeed, the spirit of bayanihan lives in co-op movement and is truly remarkable, at ipinagmamalaki ko po ang kilusang kooperatiba sa panahon na ito. This is the reason why CDA officials, yung kasamahan ko sa board at CDA management headed by Chairman Rabanera, come up with this co-op e-forum to hear and discuss and of course update issues and concern sa mga co-op natin. We want to show the world that cooperative movement in the country is ready to face the new normal. Amidst the pain that we continue to endure, dahil hindi pa naman po tapos ang ating kalaban, we should find comfort in the stories of hope and solidarity. And let us continue to see the value of bayanihan and cooperativism to heal as one. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat at mabuhay ang kilusang kooperatiba. Thank you, Glo.
Thank you very much, Asekla. Maayong hapon, daghan kaayong salamat. We would like to, before we go on, we would like to acknowledge si Bulacan Public School Teachers, MPC, and that's presumably in Bulacan. We also have watching us now is UPLCD's Community Development. Ano ito? Ay, parang question pala, hindi pala ano, from, meron na siyang question kung meron sanang makaano nito, meron sanang mag-take note, i-ano ko lang sa mga administrators natin, meron na siyang ano dito, reaction or comment or question. And we would also like to acknowledge si Bancom Life Homes Development Cooperative is watching now. And we have from Canlaon City Cooperative Office is watching us also. And meron ding nag-thank you dito para kay Asekla. And marami pa silang nagko-comment, nag-watch, and nag-join. So on to, wala pa kasi si Asek Lazaga. So I think we have to move forward to give us now the context. In his message, he will be giving us the context and the relevance of this e-forum and the importance that we should be continuing this and we should be pursuing this at this time, never at this time of the new normal. Buong Pilipinas, and we bring you at this very time our chairperson of the Cooperative Development Authority, USEC Orlando R. Rabanera. Sir, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat. Isa pong mapagpalaya at auspusong pagbati sa lahat. Thank you so much for the privilege of speaking before you through this video conferencing. My great honor to touch base with the cooperatives in whose name and for whose cause we are in CDA for. And of course, to my colleagues in the board, the Honorable Assistant Secretaries, if I may name them, say Asik Lak, Asik Badi, Asik Penny, Asik Sam, Asik Boy, and Asik Vidal. And of course, also to Administrator, Executive Director Idere. And sa inyo pong lahat, no? At the outset, please allow me to underscore the imperative need and importance of this video teleconferencing. As you all know, the advent of technology and the utilization of the various medium of communication besides face-to-face interaction has now more than ever been very crucial in the recent times, especially with the effects of brought about by COVID-19. From the usual meetings, conferences, and seminars, it has now evolved into video conferencing, with webinars, and e-forums. All these are part of the new normal world. This type of interaction has its own set of advantages, including flexibility and convenience, where you can attend and participate in the session in the comfort of your own home or office. And this e-forum will also be uploaded in the CDA Philippines YouTube channel and Facebook. Overcoming geographic location is another great advantage of this e-forum, as it could be accessed from almost everywhere else in the world, and everybody can participate and share their insights and comments, wherever they are. And lastly, the number of participants that can access and participate is greater as compared to the previous practice of conducting a forum in a selected venue. After the forum, participants can also share the uploaded video so that others can also access. Such is the beauty and importance of technology, especially in these most trying times for the cooperative movement in the country. Having said the relevance of this teleconferencing, please allow me now to give the following updates, if I may. Your Cooperative Development Authority has responded to the call of the times, as mentioned earlier by my colleagues of the board, especially ASIC Lab, and since the onset of the pandemic. We have released memorandum circulars, letters, and participated in discussions with other government agencies, all intended to support the cooperative sector during this crisis. If you may recall, on March 12, 2020, the CDA released Memorandum Circular 2020-03, which provided regulatory relief for cooperatives in view of Proclamation Number 922. Under the said MC, co-op which opted to postpone their General Assembly meeting and election of officers shall be relieved from conducting General Assemblies and election of officers. Conduct of community programs or activities involving a large crowd, and be relieved from the findings of CDA for non-presentation to the GA of the required report and non-approval of federations, unions, and cooperative banks through video conferencing. Under these guidelines, cooperatives will have the opportunity to formulate their own internal rules and procedures and or amend their laws or their bylaws in order to allow their members to participate and vote in meetings through video conferencing. Likewise, if I may add, CDA has also issued memoranda on the following. Number one, extension of period of validity of certificate of compliance issued for calendar year 2019. Number two, operation of credit cooperative during the ECQ. Number 3, utilization of CDF, optional fund, GRF, and release of ISC PR, loans and other assistance to cooperative members. Number 4, extension of the submission of required reports as provided in the amendment to CDA MC 2020-03. Number 5, automatic extension of the 30-day grace period for loans with principal and or interest falling due within the period of enhanced community quarantine, modified enhanced community quarantine, or general community quarantine, or GCQ. Number 6, accreditation of cooperative external auditors and training and cooperative training providers during community quarantine period. Number 7, extension of deadline of submission of annual tax incentive report of cooperatives to the authority due to the COVID-19 pandemic. CDA has also been included in the list of government agencies comprising the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Disease, Task Group on Food Security. The task group aims to ensure continuous supply of affordable and fresh agriculture produce for the Filipino people, particularly for the residents of Metro Manila and other urban areas across the country, through the practice of sustainable agriculture during this crisis and the post-COVID-19 period. The cooperatives are trailblazing the empowering path in the countryside through paradigm shift in agriculture, from conventional to sustainable agriculture. When the farmers will have control over the mode of production and marketing, then farming will prosper. Hence, cooperatives are considered as a crucial component in ensuring the food security of the country. Another program of the government which highlights the importance of the cooperative sector, as evidenced by the inclusion of the agency as one of its council members, is the Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa program. The council is tasked to formulate the guidelines in the implementation of Executive Order number 114, including the Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa framework, provide overall direction in the implementation of the program, approve or modify key areas and components of the program, identify legislative, regulatory, and policy changes to promote balanced regional development, and recommend to the Congress the enactment of such reforms into laws. Coronavirus looms in congested areas where the virus can easily be transmitted. Thus, social distancing is imperative. There is therefore the imperative need to decongest the urban centers. In order for the people who migrated into the urban centers in search of a better life and more opportunities, we must first regain our lost ecological integrity. The poverty trend in the rural areas must also be reversed, and the people in the rural communities must be empowered and given access and control over the resources. Otherwise, the rural people will continue to migrate to the already congested and overly populated areas in the metropolis. Upon dilemma can be resolved by the Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa program. However, we have to consider the doubts and fear of the people as to the sustainability of the program. With this, I would like to emphasize the significance of cooperativism in ensuring the success of the program, and that was the reason why CDA was become a part of the council. I am confident that the program will be more successful if the people themselves, particularly the beneficiaries of the program, would embrace value, trust, and live up with the spirit of cooperativism, because DNA is members owned. No one shall be left behind. Value-based and principle-driven and sustainable. Having said this, the CDA will have a great role in educating the people with core values and principles of cooperativism. And again, e-forum will be our main tool in reaching out to the people, gaining their trust and confidence to the services and programs of the government. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, in behalf of our office, may I express our utmost gratitude and profound appreciation to the cooperative movement for its compassion, kindness, and service, showcasing the essence of cooperativism during these most trying times. As has been said, a strong army can conquer a kingdom, but the strongest army in the world cannot stop an idea whose time has come. And that idea is following the dictum of the United Nations in its 17 Sustainable Development Goals, transformative, cooperative for people, planet, prosperity, and peace. In these most critical times, when the world is changing profoundly amidst climate change, violent extremism, and crisis in democracy, deep inequality and racism, causing chaos in the United States, not to mention the continuing control of COVID-19, social transformation being trailblazed by the cooperatives is indeed a countervailing force to stop the accelerating drive towards social, economic, and ecological disasters confronting humanity. Thus, we can honestly say that amidst the darkness of the contemporaneous times, the light called cooperativism shines through. Yan po ang katotohanan na pinakita ng mga kooperatiba sa buong bansa. Sa inyo pong lahat, isa pong taimtim na pagpupugay. Yan po ang isinigaw ng buong sambayanang kooperatiba noong 2015, 100 taong pagpupugay kooperatiba tulay sa maunlad na buhay. Marami pong salamat at mabuhay ang kooperatiba.
Thank you very much, Yusek Rabanera. Daghan kaayong salamat. And before we will be presenting to you what the CDA has done and what the cooperatives are doing in this time of the crisis, we will have one more message before the presentation. He's trying to catch up with us. In fact, as we can see, parang on the road pa siya. But we will give him the time to give a message. We have our board of directors representing agriculture, agrarian, aquaculture, farmers, dairy, and fisherfolk cluster. We have with us Assistant Secretary, Dr. Virgilio R. Lazaga. ASEC Lazaga, sir.
Yes, ma'am. A pleasant good
Yes, sir.
afternoon to all of you and to all the viewers. And of course, siyempre yung mga kasamahan ko sa CDA from Yusek Rabanera down to the Board of Directors, under the Assistant Secretaries. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat at lahat po ng mga taga-CDA. Isa pong napaka-makasaysayang pagkakaiba sa mga nangyayari na hindi tayo na personal na nagkakatipon-tipon, ngunit sa isang video conferencing. Isa pong pahiwati na nagbabago talaga ang mundo at talagang kailangang mag-adjust ang bawat isa sa atin sa hindi kanais-nais na hindi maiiwas ang pangyayari ng isang COVID-19 infection, viral infection. Alam po ninyo, all of us have been guilty in one way or the other of doing something in the past which we know we should have not done. Our lives are not meant to live for ourselves alone. Human beings are communal animals that should interact with each other. Napakalaki po ng responsibilidad natin, lalong-lalo na po sa aming maselang na pinag-uusapan ngayon sa Department of Agriculture, na ako po'y napakaswerteng napalagay dito sa sektor na ito, at ang aming pong primary issue ay ang food security, kung saan po na talagang inuobliga ang ating pong agricultural sectors na maging productive sa kanilang mga isinasagawa upang mabigyan ng mga pangunahing pangangailangan, walang iba kundi ang ating pong mga pagkain. At ako po'y natutuwa sa ating pong mga agricultural cooperatives kung saan talaga po naman ay nagresponde at ang inyo pong lingkod sa pamamagitan ng inspirasyong ibinibigay sa akin. Una ni Yusek Rabanera, ikalawa ng aking mga kasama sa Board of Directors ay mahigpit po ang kanilang mga tagubilin kung saan ako naman po ay tumupad sa pagbisita sa ating mga agricultural cooperatives at napananatili po natin at na-maintain na ang supply ng ating mga pagkain. Si Secretary Dar po ay kitang-kita ko ang kanya pong pagnanais na matugunan ang ating pong krisis. Ganun din po ang iba pong mga secretaries, si Secretary Lopez at maging si Secretary La Peña at ang iba pa po, si Cabsec at lahat po ng aming mga kasama dito sa Ganun pa man, ako po ay talagang nagpapasalamat sa Panginoon sapagkat napakarami niyang mga ibinigay na kasangkapan at mga kinakailangan natin at lalo pong ina-address nito natin ngayon at para po sa inyong kalaman ang 1 million hectares na binabalak na may mabigyan ng irrigation ng NIA at ng ating pong Department of Agriculture ay hari nawang ipagdasal natin na magkameron ng katuparan. So sa ngalan po ng CDA at sa ngalan po ng mga tumulong sa kabila ng krisis, pinagpapasalamatan ko po si Senator Bongo sa kanya pong napakagandang ibinigay na apila sa ating mga kooperatiba kung saan napakaraming tumugon. At ako'y tinext na po ni sa Pera Cooperative at lahat po ng mga iba po pong cooperatives. Kamakailan lamang po sa Philippine Medical Association ay nagbigay ng 3,000 PPEs para po sa ating mga manggagamot sa buong Pilipinas. At ganoon din po si ASIC Clark na ibinigay niya at si ASIC Buddy, si ASIC Penny, si ASIC Sam at si ASIC Vidal na nagbigay po ng napakagandang suporta sa lahat po ng ating pong pandemyang nangganap na ito. Sa inyo pong lahat, kami po sa CDA ay nangangakong magtatrabaho ng gusto upang matugunan ang pangangailangan ng bawat Pilipino. Isang magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Asek Lasaga. Maraming salamat and thank you for Before we will proceed to the presentations, there are questions here na we will entertain some questions for the board and for meron kasi dito from Agdao Multipurpose Cooperative, Davao City. Pwede po ba ang CDA maka-request to the IATF ng travel pass and or IATF ID to visit our different branches outside Davao City?
In the rain. I'm very sorry. Maybe Idire, ikaw na ang pwede ba? O si Yusef ba ang sumugod dyan sapagkat kaya po natin tinunan na yan.
If I may, I'd like to answer that. I guess there is no reason why we should not ask for that. Because ngayon pa lang po, yung sabi kanina ni Ashipoy, no? Talagang nakita po nila ngayon ang kagandahan ng kooperatiba, especially providing food security, water security and everything. At saka continuing mobilization sa ekonomiya. Kaya nga, ganun po kahalaga ang kooperatiba. So, if I may, perhaps we can affirmatively, positively respond to that particular request of the cooperative. No?
Yes, sir. We will coordinate with the ICT, sir.
Yeah, please. So the answer is in the affirmative.
Yes, sir. Okay.
That IDRE has been instructed by the board to now facilitate that request. Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
so I think that is clear. That is the answer from our board for the question of the Agdao Multipurpose Cooperative of Davao City, the granting of the IATF pass for the different branches, the different personnel and branches of the cooperative. And for Meron pong question, sir. How can the primary cooperatives proceed with the GA meetings and election? How can primary co-ops proceed with the GA meetings and election?
If I may start answering that,
I think itong question is the board will be coming up with a memorandum circular, and we will be disseminating the information to cooperatives. This is with regards to the holding of the GA meetings and election of officers of cooperatives. And we will proceed to the next question. Request for exemption of penalties from CDA for late filing of compliance reports during the pandemic. From PCO Zamboanga, Sibugay po.
I believe within the ambit of the memorandum circulars that the CDA has issued actually, yung mga regulatory relief. Either, that's within the parameters of the regulatory relief measures that we have given. It's actually
Yes, sir.
included in that, no?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That's right, sir.
And we will also advise the cooperative to contact their CDA in their area for the copy of the memorandum circulars, or to be assisted accordingly. Another question, sir. Mr. Chair Ravanera, we are seeking help regarding the bank that can finance the PUVMP. We already give the down payment for the said unit, Gazelle Motor Company, but our problem, we don't have yet the bank that can finance us. Pero walang sinabi ko anong co-op. Meron lang nagpapatulong. Maybe we can...
These queries are very important. And so if
Yes,
I'm not a cooperative, can you make it formal with all of those information? Perhaps a letter to us will be necessary para makita natin ang mga parameters of the engagement, mga details. Kasi ganito mga question, what is important are on the details, no? Ano talaga ito, saan nila walang magkuhan, so all of this. And then with that, we'll give that for a prior analysis, and then we will answer that particular question based on those details, mga facts na ibibigay sa atin, Ms. Glo. Because all of this, without the facts, we can hardly analyze that, no? So I guess that would be the answer. Idere? So
yes, sir.
ganito na, the name of the cooperatives, ano ba talaga ang naging problema with regards to funding ba yan? So nagbigay ng down payment, kailangan, yung mga ganyan pa. Yung mga ganyan. So ano ngayon ang kailangan? What are the action areas? And so if I may, these action areas should be categorical and concrete para malaman natin whether that is legally feasible or whatever, viable or whatever. So,
okay, sir, we will respond, sir. We will respond.
Oh, please,
And thank you very much. Thank you very much. Merong nag-question dito pa na can be answered later with the presentation. We will still have further presentations and by the executive director, and maybe these questions will be answered by the presentation of EDRE. So we will, at this point in time, we'll be proceeding with the program, and we will now have the CDA's response to COVID-19 pandemic. This is a presentation by the Executive Director, Ray R. Elevasto. Sir Ray?
Thank you very much, Glo. Maraming salamat. Good afternoon po sa ating pong iginagalang na Chairman Orlando Rabanera, sa ating pong mga mahal na board members, mga ASEC Vidal Villanueva, Asik Mirla Paradillo, Asik Vidal Pendaton Disimban, Asik Sam Ginumla, Asik Abad Santos, and Asik Virgilio Lasaga. Magandang hapon po sa kanilang lahat, to our viewers and our CDA personnel all over the country. Magandang hapon po. We are now presenting to you what the CDA, what the work of the CDA during the past period, March, April, and May, during this crisis, the national health emergency. Okay. I hope you can see this from your monitors. What is the CDA's response to the COVID-19 pandemic? Of course, we have three areas of presentation. Number one is the state of cooperatives. Number two, initiatives of the CDA while on ECQ and MECQ. And number three, the comprehensive action plan to mitigate COVID-19. Pinapaalala ko lang po na ang ating board of directors, as headed by our chairman Yusek Orlando Rabanera, has become more proactive and activist in policy making, at the same time in seeing to it na ang Cooperative Development Authority will lead and guide cooperatives in these trying times. As of date, the cooperatives, the number of operating cooperatives is 18,851, which is composed of 1,377 newly registered cooperatives, and then 11,939 reporting cooperatives, and 5,265 non-reporting cooperatives. In terms of membership, we are 11.6 million strong, and in terms of employment, the cooperatives are providing 513,100 workforce. So we are divided into large, medium, and small and micro cooperatives. What are the initiatives of the Cooperative Development Authority during this time? Kanina nabanggit ng ating pong chairman ang marami pong memorandum circulars, but we will have it more detailed as we discuss these memorandum circulars today. Yung pinakauna po na na-discuss ni chairman kanina, the regulatory relief for cooperatives in view of Proclamation 922 on March 11, which is MC 2020-03, MC 2020-04, amendment to MC 2020-03, which is March 23, and then MC Memorandum Circular 2020-05, the extension of deadline of submission of annual tax incentive reports of cooperatives to the authority due to COVID-19 pandemic, that is April 6, and MC number 2020-06, amendment and supplement to memorandum circular numbers 2020-04 and 05. Further, extending the deadline for submission of required reports of cooperatives to the authority due to COVID-19. That's issued last May 5. Also, we have Memorandum Circular 2020-07, or the extension of the period of validity of Certificate of Compliance for calendar year 2019, issued on May 6. Memorandum Circular 2020-08, accreditation of cooperative external auditors and cooperative training providers during the community quarantine period, issued in May 13, and Memorandum Circular 2020-10, or the guidelines on the conduct of General Assembly meetings of federations, unions, and cooperative banks through video conferencing. Yung mga memorandum circulars pong yun ay nagawa ng ating board more or less sa panahon po ng Marso hanggang ngayon. And then we have a summary of memorandum and open letters which are strategic in nature. Memorandum, yung unang-una po, akala natin hindi gaanong magtatagal hanggang ngayon itong pandemic. But kinailangan po tayong mag-issue ng memorandum circular reiterating the joint statement of DOH, DILG, and DOT on public gatherings, March 3, mamaya babanggitin po natin, and the announcement of alternative work arrangement of CDA employees for the current state of public health emergency as of March 17. The CDA has to adjust. And then memorandum on the extension of name reservation, March 18, and the announcement or update on alternative work arrangement of CDA employees in response to the current state of public health emergency. We have adjusted 2 times in our alternative work arrangement kasi nakikita po natin na ang pandemic medyo lumalala po yung kanyang nabibiktima. And then afterwards, we have an open letter to agriculture cooperatives and cooperatives engaged in agriculture regarding their opening up or institutionalizing of e-co-op trading. Nanawagan po tayo na ilagay ang ating ang anunsyo ng ating mga produkto sa agrikultura doon po sa internet. Ano po? And para po magpatuloy ang supply chain, magpatuloy po ang bentahan ng mga goods, particularly agricultural goods, sa ating pong mga mamimili at nang sa ganun din po matulungan ang ating pong mga magsasaka. And then we have issued memorandum on the utilization of CDF, optional fund, GRF, and release of ISCPR, loans and other assistance to cooperative members, and memorandum on compliance with Section 4 AA of letters AA of RA 11469 or otherwise known as the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act on April 2, and a memorandum on the operation of credit cooperative during the ECQ last May 1. So, in random, yun po yung mga ini-issue ng ating board of directors under the leadership of our Chairman Rabanera. At kung mapapansin natin, marami po yun. Tuloy-tuloy po ang pagbabantay namin sa panguna ng aming board sa kalagayan natin, kalagayan ng kooperatiba at kalagayan ng Cooperative Development Authority. At sa ganung pamamaraan po nakapag-issue ng mga regulatory issuances, guidance, and other issuances na magpapalakas sa pag-usad ng kooperatiba despite this quarantine period and despite this pandemic. Pupunta lang po tayo sa medyo detalye. Noong March 3 po, 2020, marami na pong nagtatanong ng mga kooperatiba, tutuloy ba tayo sa General Assembly o hindi? Dahil napakahalaga ng General Assembly sa buhay ng kooperatiba. At sa amin naman po ay nagmamanman kami sa sitwasyon. Anong gagawin ng Cooperative Development Authority? Thus, we issued reiteration of the joint statement of DOH and DOT, assuring everyone that it is safe to organize and attend public gatherings, meetings, and festivities as long as precautionary measures are observed. During that time, medyo ang tingin po natin, hindi pa gaanong grabe. Pero ang sabi natin, sige, mag-conduct kayo na GA pero with precautionary measures, with minimum health measures na sinasabi po ng DOH. Pero po, medyo grumabe nga ang sitwasyon. And last March 11, 2020, we issued the regulatory relief for cooperatives in view of Proclamation 922. Naramdaman na natin na ang kooperatiba hindi kayang maglunsad ng General Assembly. Ang Board of Directors po natin through MC 2020-03 ay nagsabi, "Ops, we have to issue a regulatory relief measure so that cooperatives will continue to operate despite this." So, in the light of the above stated proclamation number 922, ang sabi po ng board, cooperatives are hereby allowed to postpone their scheduled General Assembly meeting and election of officers for a period of 3 months from the effectivity of the circular, which is yung March 11 po, effective immediately yon. Upon issue, so 3 months sabi natin, o kaya until such time that the state of public health emergency is lifted, whichever comes first. Kung mapapansin niyo po, hopeful pa rin tayo na matatapos ang pandemya sa ikling panahon dito sa regulatory relief na ito. And then incumbent officers shall be on holdover capacity until such time that a General Assembly meeting and election of officers are conducted. And then, pending the conduct of a General Assembly meeting, the cooperative shall operate on a reenacted budget. Yun po ang sinasabi po ng Memorandum Circular 2020-03, including cooperatives which opt to postpone their General Assembly meeting and election of officers under this circular shall be relieved from the following. Number 1 is the conduct of General Assembly meeting and election, and then conduct of community programs or activities involving a large crowd, and then findings of the CDA for the following violations. So in regular times, in ordinary times, non-conduct of this, itong A and B will be a finding from the CDA because these are violations. 1, non-presentation to the General Assembly of required reports and non-approval of the developmental and annual plan during regular times. But today, because of crisis, the board of directors has given everyone every cooperative a regulatory relief. So exempt po ang mga cooperative dito. Kung halimbawa ay hindi pa sila nakapag-present ng reports sa General Assembly, and at the same time hindi pa po sila nakakapag-approve ng developmental or annual plan. And then we showed how that this regulatory relief be availed of through the following requirements. Letter informing the CDA Central Office or Extension Offices concerned of the postponement of the General Assembly signed by the chairperson and or the CEO or general manager of the cooperative, and then board resolution requesting availment of the regulatory relief. In case the postponed General Assembly meeting will later on be conducted, the authority shall be informed of any changes in the submitted reports within 5 days after the conduct of the said General Assembly. So, sabi natin, the availment of regulatory relief shall cover only the operation of cooperatives for the calendar year 2019. And on March 17, we adjusted to the situation. The CDA issued an alternative work arrangement for its employees in response to the state of health emergency, and we implemented a skeletal workforce work from home arrangement in the central office and majority of the work of the regional offices on a work from home arrangement. March 18, we issued a memorandum again for the applications for registration of cooperatives which name reservation have expired or will expire on or before April 12 will still be accepted even after the said date, even up to now. So that's for another regulatory relief measure of the registration. And on March 23, we issued an open letter to the agricultural cooperatives suggesting that agricultural products be available online at affordable and reasonable prices for domestic consumption. And still on March 23, we issued amendment to MC 2020-03 entitled Regulatory Relief for Cooperatives in view of Proclamation number 922. The requirement, as mentioned in this MC, is that the cooperative shall submit a letter through email informing the CDA Central Office concerned of the postponement of the General Assembly signed by the chairperson and or the CEO or general manager of the cooperative. Dati po yung una, board of directors, kailangan pa po namin ng resolution. But because of the changing situation, we allowed only the chairperson or the CEO or the general manager of the cooperative to submit a letter through email. So on March 2020, the same date, we issue, and then the deadline for submission of required reports is on June 15, 2020. That's under MC number 2020-04. In-adjust na rin po natin yung submission of reportorial requirements. In case the cooperative conducted in its General Assembly after June 15, 2020, the authority shall be informed of any changes in the submitted reports within 5 days after the conduct of said General Assembly. So, kapag nakapag-conduct ng General Assembly yung cooperative, during that time, inaasahan po natin na magbibigay ng report sa atin within 5 days after the conduct of the said assembly, ang cooperative na nag-conduct supposed to be ng General Assembly. On March 26, 2020, we also issued a memorandum. Ito po yung nagbigay ng hudyat sa mga kooperatiba sa buong bansa na tumulong unang-una sa kanilang membro, pangalawa sa buong komunidad at sa mga frontliners through the utilization of CDF, optional fund, and release of interest on share capital and patronage refund. By the way, sa mga bago po na nakikinig ngayon, ang CDF po ay Community Development Fund. Ito po ay pondo ng kooperatiba para itulong sa kanilang mga komunidad. Yung optional fund, pondo ng kooperatiba po para itulong sa kanilang sarili sa pamamagitan ng mga proyektong para sa kanilang opisina at iba pang proyekto para sa loob ng organisasyon. Yung GRF po, kapag medyo nalulugi na yung kooperatiba, i-utilize po nila ito, yung General Reserve Fund, and the ISCPR, yung Interest on Share Capital and Patronage Refund, and then loans and other assistance to cooperative members. So, through the memorandum, the CDA, the Cooperative Development Authority, announced that the cooperatives can have early distribution of the interest on share capital and patronage refund. No? And then subject to the two adjustments when necessary and to explore alternative means to distribute the ISCPR so as to ensure that the distribution process observes the enhanced community quarantine for COVID-19 under the guidance of local authorities and observing strict physical distancing. That's last March 26. And then cooperatives are strongly encouraged to utilize their community development fund, which under Article 86, paragraph 3 of RA number 9520 shall not be less than 3% of their net surplus for projects or activities that will benefit the community where the cooperatives operate. These projects or activities are those identified and included in the approved social development plan, with the exception, however, of those undertaken in response to the COVID-19 pandemic to reinforce prevention and control actions of the government. By this CDF, the Cooperative Development Authority assisted the government in fighting the effects of COVID-19. And then for the optional fund, which under Article 86 of the Code shall not exceed 7% may also be utilized by the cooperative if warranted by the circumstances for the benefit of its members and employees. This, however, must later on be confirmed by the General Assembly. And then if the cooperative chooses to use its optional fund, sabi po ng memorandum, or if the same is not sufficient for the intended aid purpose, additional fund assistance may be charged to direct expenses by the cooperative. And then for the accumulated reserve fund, ang sabi po natin, it shall be used for the stability of cooperative and to meet net losses in its operations. Thus, in the event that the cooperative incurs a loss during the year on account of this crisis, on account of this crisis, only then may the reserve fund be used to absorb this loss or losses. Ang sabi rin po ng memorandum, emergency or calamity loans at interest-free or minimal rates of interest may be extended to enable the members to meet their needs, subject to the lending policies of the cooperative. And then the cooperative-owned vehicles and properties may be made available for use by members or of the community, of the cooperative or the community, especially during emergency situation in coordination with local government units. Mamaya po ikukwento namin kung gaano kalalim ang ginawa ng memorandum na ito sa pagmomobilisa ng ating mga kooperatiba bukod sa inisyatiba ng ating mga kooperatiba mismo sa kanilang mga lugar. On April 2, 2020, a memorandum was also issued on the compliance of Section 4, letter AA of Section of Republic Act number 11469, otherwise known as the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act, saying that all cooperatives duly registered by the authority which provide credit and other lending services are considered covered institutions under Section 2 of the said rule. And they are, all cooperatives, these cooperatives are strictly reminded to comply with Republic Act number 1169, otherwise known as the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act, particularly Section 4 AA, which says that the President shall have the power to adopt following temporary emergency measures to respond to crisis brought by the pandemic. Sabi po rito, just to be detailed, direct all banks, quasi-banks, financing companies, lending companies, and other financial institutions, including cooperatives as covered institutions, public and private, including the GSIS, SSS, Pag-ibig, to implement a minimum of 30-day grace period for the payment of loans. So, ganun po. And then, with penalties po yon under the Bayanihan Act, to Heal as One Act. Section 6 expresses the penalties. Even the refusal to provide the grace period has a sanction, specifically for presidents, directors, and managers and managing partners of these institutions. So that law was approved March 25, 2020. Then on April 6, MC 2020-05 was issued saying that extension with the subject extension of deadline of submission of annual tax incentive reports of cooperatives to the authority due to the COVID pandemic. Yung ating ATIR, considering the existence of national emergency arising from the coronavirus disease situation and in line with the extension granted by the BIR, the filing of annual income tax returns until May 15, 2020, the following guidelines are issued. Number 1, all cooperatives issued with CTE or cooperative tax exemption are given up to May 30, 2020 to submit their ATIR for transactions covering the calendar year 2019. Cooperatives which adopt fiscal year as their accounting period are given 15 days from the deadline of the filing of annual income tax return to the BIR to submit their ATIR. So, cooperatives will still follow the procedural guidelines by Section 4, as enunciated in Section 4, CDA Memorandum Circular number 2019-06. On May 1, 2020, we issued a memorandum on the operation of credit cooperatives during the ECQ. We extended the information which comes from the omnibus guidelines for the implementation of the community quarantine in the Philippines, saying that credit cooperatives can now operate. In May 5, 2020, Memo Circular number 2020-06 amended and supplemented MC numbers 2020-04 and 2020-05, further extending the deadline for submission of required reports and annual tax incentive reports of cooperatives to the authority due to the pandemic, which amended the following memorandum circulars to extend submission of annual reports up to June 30, 2020. So, amended po yung MC 2020-04 and 2020-05. The CDA required reports are the following. After online submission using the Cooperative Annual Progress Report Information System, all duly signed reports may be submitted through any of the following means: personally, or through registered mail or courier services, or through electronic mail. But up to now, ladies and gentlemen, we prefer submission of reports through electronic mail or email. For annual tax incentive reports under the said circular, the soft copy in Excel format shall also be submitted to the email of CDA regional offices. Hard copies, however, may be submitted in the same manner as the CDA required reports. Again, the default is soft copy of submission. In submitting the reports through email, the following conditions must be met. Reports must be scanned in portable document format or PDF. The email should contain a declaration by the authorized representative of the cooperative that the documents submitted are authentic and that the hard copies shall be submitted to the authority within the prescribed period. It shall be understood, however, that the persons whose signatures appear in the documents as submitted shall be held accountable under the appropriate provisions of this code. So after the evaluation of the completed reports and payment of COC or Certificate of Compliance fee of 100 pesos, the COC shall be sent via email to the cooperative. Payment of COC may be done through the Land Bank link.viz portal. It's an e-portal for our payment, and the original copy of COC may be claimed at the CDA office upon lifting of the ECQ. So on March 5, 2020, we also issued an MC number 2020-07 or extension of validity of period of validity of COC. Medyo na po ito, ano? And in line with the pronouncement of President Duterte on ACQ, certificates of compliance issued by the authority which expired on April 30 shall still be considered valid, subsisting until June 30. That's for the old COCs issued by the CDA nung nakaraang taon, which expired last April 30, 2020. We said that it is still valid. Those COCs shall still be valid and shall be considered valid until June 30, 2020. On May 13, 2020, MC number 2020-08 or the Memorandum Circular on Accreditation of Cooperative External Auditors and Cooperative Training Providers during the community quarantine period. The application of accreditation of external auditors and training providers will now be through email. Applicants may submit their applications and corresponding documents to the CDA regional office through email, and scanned copies of the documents must be sent to the CDA regional office emails. And for the conduct of mandatory training for cooperative officers, the accredited cooperative training providers may conduct training online or through virtual format. And then the ATPs or the training providers may choose to adopt web-based training, webinars, or other available virtual platforms, or a combination of virtual and homework, or blended, whichever is or are most effective in the delivery of trainings for cooperative officers. ATPs shall still comply with the required contents and minimum number of hours per training by submitting documentary evidence proving compliance thereto. ATPs shall also submit periodic reports through the CDA regional offices email address. As to the other requirements, we will still follow previous memorandum circulars for the accredited external auditors and ATPs, which is MC 2019-10, 2015-10, and 2015-09. On May 20, 2020, MC number 2020-10, Guidelines on the Conduct of General Assembly Meetings of Federations, Unions, and Cooperative Banks through video conferencing was issued, which is very much awaited by our federations, unions, and cooperative banks. Of course, including the primaries. These guidelines does not include memorandum circular. By the way, para sa mga nakikinig pong baguhan sa Cooperative Development Authority at sa kooperatiba, pag sinabi po namin sa CDA na MC or Memorandum Circular, these are the policies issued by our Board of Directors. Pag sinabi po namin memorandum, this is either issued by our chairman or on operational matters, yours truly. So, papatuloy po ako. These guidelines says that regulatory relief for covered cooperatives. Who are the covered cooperatives? Federations, unions, and cooperative banks who failed to conduct their general regular assemblies, meetings, because of the community quarantine and which their bylaws do not provide for video conferencing as a mode to conduct their GAs. And then the regulatory relief for covered cooperatives which have conducted their GA prior to the imposition of the community quarantine but intended to conduct GA meetings during the said period through video conferencing, even if not provided in their bylaws, or as general guide and authority for co-ops who may want to amend their bylaws to include the conduct of their GAs through the video conferencing pending the approval of the said amendment. Again, the covered cooperatives for these memorandum circulars are the federations, unions, and cooperative banks. What are the requirements? Letter to central office for those cooperatives who are registered and under the jurisdiction of central office, and all regional offices containing the following. Number 1, request to conduct the General Assembly meeting through video conferencing during the CQ, and then total number of members, quorum requirement, agenda, and statement certifying that items number 111.0 of the circular are taken into account. Another is board resolution resolving to request from the authority that its cooperative be allowed to avail of the regulatory relief. For this purpose, the meeting of the board of directors may be conducted through video conferencing, even if not included in the bylaws or policies of the cooperative, but subject to the rules on sending of notices, quorum, and voting requirements as provided for in the bylaws. These requirements shall be sent to the email addresses of the Cooperative Development Authority, central office or regional offices. And then on May 29, we issued memorandum, but take note that this memorandum shall be amended because of the developments in the issuance of the IATF. This memorandum says, the title of this memorandum is Automatic Extension of 30-Day Grace Period for Loans with Principal and or Interest Falling Due within the period of Enhanced Community Quarantine, Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine, or General Community Quarantine. But I repeat, this will be amended. It is saying that all covered institutions shall implement a 30-day grace period for all loans with principal and or interest falling due within the ECQ period without incurring interest on interest, penalties, fees, and other charges. The initial 30-day grace period shall automatically be extended if the ECQ period is extended by the President of the Republic. under the Bayanihan Toil as One Act. We are quoting the memorandum quotes from the law. So we are just advising for the automatic extension of 30-day grace period for the 3 quarantine descriptions, ECQ, MECQ, and GCQ. Okay. So the guidelines for other issuances or other pronouncement of the board and the board of directors of the CDA are, we also issued guidelines for the CDA operations. Internal po ito for the ECQ, GCQ, and the new normal, and then information dissemination intended for business rehabilitation of cooperatives and social amelioration of co-ops. In this information dissemination, we featured the programs of several agencies, partner agencies, so that we can also help specifically the cooperative members nationwide in accessing all programs of the government. So nag-announce po tayo ng programa ng DOLE, nag-announce po tayo ng programa ng DTI, nag-announce po tayo ng programa ng Land Bank of the Philippines, the Department of Agriculture, TESDA. Linagay po natin sa ating website and Facebook page in order for us to help inform all cooperative members through our information reach. And then the national government agencies and programs, as mentioned, are the following: DOLE Tupad and Camp Program, DA Alpas COVID-19 Program, DA ACPC 1 billion loan facility for plant, DTI Enterprise Rehabilitation Facility sa babago at pag-asenso, DTI Livelihood Seeding Program, and then Land Bank I-Rescue Lending Program. The CDA also is also a member of the IATF Task Group on Food Security under the leadership of the Department of Agriculture, Secretary William Dar, and its sub-clusters, which is food, water security subcluster, and supply chain subcluster, and water security subcluster, and supply chain subcluster. The CDA is also a member of the Balik Provincia Program Council, thanks to the President for his Executive Order 114. And for the initial programs launch during this pandemic, we are reporting weekly to the Department of Trade and Industry, our mother agency, to Secretary Lopez, the weekly Bayanihan report to the Office of the President. The following are being reported weekly: our cooperative supply and value chain program, value chain readiness program, the CBMIS or the Cooperative Business Management Information System, and the website list of cooperatives operating along cooperative essentials, money remittances, and banking, and co-participation in DA Kadiwa centers, LGU-initiated market outlets, online marketing, and the Cooperative Bayanihan program. We also report through the Bayanihan reporting the cooperative regulatory program, which is the regulatory relief and ease in cooperative registration program. Through the initiation of our board of directors, we formulated the CDA Comprehensive Action Plan Against COVID, subtitled "To Fight, Mitigate, and the Effects of COVID-19 and in Transition to the New Normal." So with this, the portions are general administration services. We are arranging our office. We have crafted guidelines and even physical arrangements to prepare for the new normal, and while the crisis is going on, we are arranging our office so that we can be prepared na magsilbi po sa mga tao, sa mga kliyente habang merong pandemiko. So with the health protocols, of course, we are implementing the minimum health protocols and other measures as issued by the IATF. We have also prepared a co-op Balik Probinsya program under our participation with the Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa Council. We have the Co-op Bayanihan program, and we have the information and advocacy on safety and health protocols against COVID-19 for cooperatives, the regulatory relief, the cooperative supply and value chain program. So what we are doing in the last March, April, and May has been institutionalized through this comprehensive action plan against COVID. Naging part na po siya ng work and financial plan ng Cooperative Development Authority through this action plan. Bilang isa pong napakagandang balita, ito po ay ibabalita po namin. Ngayon nyo lang po maririnig ito, mga kasama, mga kababayan, at mga kasama po sa kilusang kooperatiba. Ang unang-unang nakakaalam nito, una ay ang CDA, pangalawa ang Department of Trade and Industry na amin pong pinagsasabihan ng report. At ngayon po, pati na po kayo. We are reporting through the Supply and Value Chain Preparedness Program the following. Number of cooperatives officially enrolled or registered in the CBMIS nationwide plus or 530 co-ops are in our CBMIS, plus we have monitored 5,197 cooperatives who are during the crisis period, no, up to now, March, lalong-lalo na po nung kasagsagan, no, cooperatives are there providing services. We monitored 5,197 cooperatives open and provided products and services to members or non-members communities during this time of national health emergency. So those the cooperative members served 7,437,335 and 123,774 non-members. Yan po yung nagawa nung pagkilos ng mga kooperatiba under the supply chain, no? Meron pong involved sa rice and other commodities, rice, vegetable, other commodities that serves communities. Yan po ang number ng kumilos na na-monitor po namin. And ilinagay na namin sa aming website para nang sa ganon makasama sila. Kung may maghanap ng supply ng food, nakikita sa aming website ang pangalan at ng kooperatiba at maaari po nilang kontakin through the Cooperative Development Authority yung mga kooperatiba na yon. Hanggang ngayon, nakapost pa po itong mga ito. And then, ito po ang nakakamangha, yung pong co-op bayanihan program natin. Wherein we witness cooperatives really helping in the front lines and really helping their communities and their members in facing this crisis. We have 1,909 cooperatives that assisted frontline personnel, clinics, hospitals, and health facilities during this COVID-19 pandemic, in which 59,578 non-members served and 2 hospitals and 52 LGUs also served. We also have 4,118 cooperatives extending or provided cash provided assistance in terms of cash. Umabot po ng 930,746,477 million cash ang na-disburse ng mga kooperatiba para tumulong po sa ating gobyerno and then at sa mga tao, serving 772,486 members and 82,325 non-members. And 2,678 cooperatives extended or provided assistance in terms of goods, food packs, and PPEs in kind po. Is an estimated 384,491,032 pesos worth of goods, food packs, and PPEs ang naipamigay po bilang assistance ng ating mga kooperatiba, serving 776,457 members and 17,603 non-members. Nakakatuwa po ang ginawang pagtulong ng maraming kooperatiba. And then, as part of the Co-op Bayanihan program, we have 664 cooperatives that extended assistance in terms of voluntary activities, free transportation, medical assistance, free shelter, benefiting 77,850 beneficiaries, served with an approximate non-cash assistance amounting to 1.8 million in 6 LGUs benefited. Also, we have 1,596 cooperatives that utilized their community development for the community, reaching 332,827,528 million in terms of amount, and 844,271 members were served, 12,601 non-members were served, and 96 barangays also served. 690 cooperatives distributed interest on capital and patronage refund, reaching 1,739,968,760 pesos, billion pesos, and benefiting or serving 618,804 members, and 1,136 cooperatives utilized or distributed other funds for assistance to members and non-members, amounting to 554,076,853, and serving 201,163 members, and 2,122 members, and 1,342 local community residents and 4 LGUs. As for the partnership between the CDA and the Department of Agriculture, we have 101 cooperatives linked with the Kadiwa Market Centers or Kadiwa Order system to supply, deliver, distribute, and or market agricultural products. 97 of co-ops with financial transactions monitored under the Kadiwa program with transactions of 35.4 million pesos and 370 local communities residents served, and 150 cooperatives involved in other initiatives outside of the Kadiwa program, including financial outside of the Kadiwa program. 3.3 million worth of transaction outside of the Kadiwa system was monitored by our group, by the Cooperative Development Authority. Not only that, we encouraged and we coordinated with the cooperatives and we coordinated with the DA to link up these cooperatives. And we linked up also with the local government unit so that we will increase the participation of many more cooperatives in this partnership. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the Cooperative Development Authority response to COVID-19 in a span of 3 months until now. So maraming salamat po at magandang hapon po sa kanilang lahat. Mabuhay po ang kilusang kooperatiba, mabuhay po ang Cooperative Development Authority. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, ED Ray, and sa mga kasama pa natin ngayon na still watching us with our Co-ops e-forum. Yan po ang nangyari since nag-start yung ECQ in March, and patuloy pa po kasi kami po dito sa mga regional offices, patuloy pa rin nag-gather ng mga data ng mga tumutulong na mga cooperatives using their CDF for the members and for the community that they are in. Maraming salamat po, ED Ray. And
salamat.
We will have here questions na post, na gather po ng ating mga kasamahan. Meron pong mga questions na, yung most of the questions are related dun sa holding of the General Assembly, na para, I think it's clear na siguro yung sa presentation kanina ni Edie Ray, or do we need to raise the questions like yung MC3 provided for a 3-month period which is soon to end in June, and the presidential proclamation if not yet lifted. Thus, primary cooperatives cannot yet conduct their GA. What will now be the governing rule on the matter? Suggestion for CDA to issue another MC, amending MC number 3, with a 12-month period, or when the said proclamation is lifted, whichever comes earlier. Parang nasagot mo na ito kanina, Edie Ray, na merong
Kanina po sinagot ni Chairman kanina po yan. Magkakaroon po ng board meeting on that matter para sa mga primaries. Para sa primaries at tinitingnan po, pinapakikinggan po ng ating board of directors sa pangunguna po ng ating chairman ang lahat ng suggestions para po input to the discussion of the board on preparing or in crafting the memorandum circular on that matter po.
Thank you, Edie Ray. And meron po...
If I may add,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But I think the context or the mindset of the board on this follows this particular context. That while we give high adherence to the democratic processes of the cooperative in the conduct of the assembly, election, but you know what? Ang part po talaga natin ay mahalaga talaga ang health, ang that we be avoid from the harm to be done by COVID-19. And so along that line, that's really correct. Yan po ang context. Mahalaga po talaga ang health ng mga membro. And so if there is this directive that social gathering cannot be had yet, and then we have to really follow that. Yun po ang context. So I think that is what we should follow. Yun importante. Kasi mahirap talaga pag sumabog po ang pandemic, no? At dahil nag-assembly tayo, baka ang sisihin niyan ang CDA. Kasi CDA allowed this eh. Yung mga ganun ba? Di ba, Edie? And so along that line, we have to be very, very careful. And we give paramount importance to the health of the members. So yun po ang context.
In addition sa question, sir, meron din nag-question na if their primary cooperatives from Bicol have been inquiring on when they can be permitted to conduct their GA meeting, or that they can also be permitted to conduct their GA meetings through video conferencing or other electronic means.
Actually, napag-usapan niyo ng board, no? For example, why is it that we zeroed in on the federations, unions, at saka co-banks? Because the number would be hindi masyadong marami. Pero natatakot po tayo pag ang magte-teleconference o mag-gather. How would you do that, for example, if your members would be by the tens of thousands? Would that be possible? Yun nga po we should be a little bit realistic. And so along that line, yun po napag-usapan ng board, and it took us a lot of time on discussing that. We actually balance it very well. Yun po ang katotohanan. Pero ang problema talaga is this, no? Is it possible for the primary cooperative with thousands of members to really go on teleconferencing? Yun ang that has to be asked from them. And if it's possible, then how can you do that? That it will not deviate from the essence of democracy. We have to say na talagang may participation. Yun naman ang importante. And so along that line, I hope that the cooperatives would understand that while the board is so concerned with this, pero po binabalance po talaga natin. How would that be possible? For example, a certain cooperatives would have hundreds of thousands. Would that be possible? So yun po ang context, no? Dapat po maintindihan natin yan. Kaya nga po, while the board is so keen on really responding to the call of the times and what is in the best interest of the primary cooperatives. But again, we have to really analyze that very well. But be that as it may, no, if there are cooperatives, the primary, that would really justify that that they can really have a good representation, na kahit na tens of thousands yan, how do you do that? Perhaps that would be a subject of some analysis, Ms. Glo. I think to our colleagues, yun po ang kwan. And if there are other things that our board would like to add, yun po ang context, if I may. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And another question po from Attorney Britannico. Ang concern ko lang, assuming na allowed na mag-extend ng grace period during GCQ, will it really work for the interest of the members and the cooperatives? Under IATF Resolution number 38 and the IRR for Section 4AA of RA 11469, what is due during the month where grace period was allowed will be distributed over the remaining months of the lifetime of the loan, lalo nang lalaki ang babayaran ng members monthly once matapos na ang GCQ. Will it really work for the interest of the members and the cooperatives?
Well, actually, no, if I may, actually, we have to put that in a certain context. For example, if Attorney Britannico is saying that if CDA will be flexible and a little bit liberal on this, then this will be the consequence. Kasi po, there are a lot of school of thoughts on this. What if the other cooperatives will think otherwise? Not thank you so much, CDA, for allowing us kasi it's time of pandemic now. We are very low in economic activity and the loans cannot be paid at that. Pero can be collected at that. Pero sabi ng Attorney Britannico, but the longer you delay that, the bigger will be the responsibility. Kaya nga po yun ang kuwan eh. In that context, siguro, we have to hear the details. Sabi ng Attorney Britannico, yun sabi nila, the devil is in the detail. And so if, for example, Attorney Britannico can give us thorough analysis on this, perhaps, no, that can, and then this is applicable to the cooperatives. Kasi the other school of thought, another cooperative may also say otherwise. And so kami po sa CDA have to balance that very well. There might be those that will applicable to a certain cooperative, but it will not be proper to another one. Kaya yun nga po yan eh. Pero it cannot be generalized. No? Siguro, I'd like to ask Attorney Britannico if he has other approaches. Like for example, say, okay, you'll be allowed to pay, pero by that time, malaki na nga ang babayaran. So ano ang better alternative? Baka sabihin ni Attorney Britannico, kung ganyan, siguro na pag there are some months na hindi nagbibigyan ng interest yan. Ang litas, no? Baka pwede may mga ganong pan. Kasi yung sinasabi, na-discuss namin yung kapon sa Congress, di ba, i-delay? Yung tanong sa bank. Yes. Will you, for example, allow us to delay payment? Will you still impose the interest? O, yan man, ganyan ba? Sabi naman baka naman, CDA, what is your answer? Sabi naman, delay. Well, in that particular month, baka naman wala ng interest. Di ba, delay? Yung mga ganyan ba? So, along that line, there are so many ways to answer Attorney Britannico that particular question. But we can generalize because what is true to one cooperative maybe not be true to the other cooperative. But then, siguro, based your own analysis, kasi magaling naman talaga ito si Attorney Britannico eh. So, can we also listen to you if you have some other alternative course of action that will be applicable to you and to all the other cooperatives? But ganun lang siguro, Attorney Britannico, if I may.
And thank you, sir. Meron pa. Naglabas kayo ng MC on how to utilize the CETF of every co-op. Sa ngayong bawal ang big gathering, mayroon po ba kayong suggestions kung paano na ilulunsad? Particular ang mga mandatory seminars na requirements para sa mga eligibility ng mga officers para sa election or appointment. Salamat po.
Well, actually, no, if I may answer that, no, parang ganito ito eh. You know what? Kaya nga, actually, in the world of cooperativism, no, we really give high importance to one capital. Ang sabi nila, the number one capital is the human capital. Then ecological, then financial. Pangatlo lang yan. Ang number one is human. That's the reason why we have to allocate this much so that we can develop the human capital. Pero the problem is this. Just like in education, they cannot be gathered in the school, so there are alternatives, no? So along that line, I'd like to ask, like for example, if the Secretary of Education will say that, well, siguro meanwhile they may not be able to go to class, but they could continue their learning through the following. Do they have video conference, whatever, schooling, this and that? Siguro, to answer that, no, it is kasi talaga pong hindi pa natin talaga alam kung saan pupunta so wala pa talaga yung vaccine. Tapos it is so improper if we will call for this big gathering to trainings. O ngayon po siguro we can open this in the ring.
Yes, sir.
Other alternative courses of mga conducting seminars for your members.
Yes, sir.
It may not be proper for gathering. Baka pwede naman yan sa ginagawa natin ngayon. That's why earlier when I give our message, we give importance to this kind of virtual conferences and everything. Would it be possible? Would it be possible for you to disseminate itong trainings through whatever means, not necessarily that you have to be gathered? Siguro we have to ask also the cooperative on how can that be done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I ask?
Yes, please, Asikla.
Yung ating din po, Chairman, meron na silang mga tao natin sa CDA. Meron na rin po silang pinag-aaralan tungkol dito sa mga seminars and training natin. Hindi pa lang nila na-submit sa board for approval na paano gagawin yung mga online seminars and trainings. This is to be aligned with the new normal. Kasi hindi naman po ito matatapos kaagad the next month. Kasi medyo very uncertain kung kailan siya matapos. So ngayon po, may mga tao natin sa office, meron na po silang, sa ngayon, meron na silang pinag-aaralan kung paano natin magagawa yung ating mandatory trainings online. So, baka one of these days, mai-present sa board yan. And then, total naman, hindi naman ang CDA board tumitigil sa paghahanap kung saan tayo makakatulong sa mga co-op. So, antabayanan lang po natin, baka next week may bagong lalabas naman tungkol sa mga General Assembly ng mga primaries, kasi sa Unions and Federation meron na tayo. Rest assured sa lahat ng co-op na nakikinig ngayon, ang CDA po ay hindi tumitigil kung saan kami makakatulong sa mga questions na nasa isip ninyo ngayon, kung paano yung mga yan. Hindi po tayo tumitigil para po sa kaayusan ng mga kooperatiba.
Thank you so much for that. Siguro sabihin din natin, don't you know, na the board is meeting regularly, weekly, at pag mayroon pa mga importante, sometimes more than that pa.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Sabi ni Asikla, no?
Ipapaalam natin sa mga co-op, Mr. Chair, na nakikinig, na nung wala pa pong pandemic, ang Board of Directors ng CDA ay nagmi-meeting po once a month or minsan twice a month kung may mga emergency. But this time of pandemic, ang CDA po, Board of Directors ng CDA kasama ang chairman at ang executive director, nagmi-meeting po ng twice or once a week. Ganun po ka-alert ang mga pamunuan ng CDA para po masagot natin ang mga pangangailangan ng co-op. Ganun po.
Thank you for that, Asikla. Please, Ms. Glo.
Ms. Glo,
Yes,
gusto ko lang
yes,
i-reinforce at bilang witness sa trabaho ng board natin na grabe ang kanilang trabaho. Kahit kung pwede nga lang gawin nilang 3 times a week yung yung meeting, but ngayon tungkol dun sa sinabi ni Attorney Britannico kanina regarding, siguro ang binabanggit niya yung memorandum circular, sir, na memorandum pala na tungkol sa grace period in the ECQ, in the MECQ, and the general quarantine, general community quarantine. Actually, nabasa na po ng ating board at nabasa na po ng ating chairman yung guidelines number 38 ng IATF. At nire-review nila for, kaya nga po sabi ko kanina, take note with the memorandum which was issued May 29 na ito po ay nire-review ng ating board subject to amendment. Yon. So makakaasa po sir si Attorney Britannico na ilalabas ni chairman yung issuance na yon later on, pupirmahan ng ating chairman yung kanila pong nire-review ngayon tungkol sa memorandum on grace period dun po sa ECQ, GCQ, and MECQ. And for the trainings naman po, actually hindi lang nila binabanggit kanina, pero nagsimula na po ang board natin, nabanggit nga nila kanina po, at nagsimula na ang board natin through issuing the memorandum circular on ATPs kanina po, and yung training providers and the cooperative auditors, external auditors. Una, online submission of reports, pero nabanggit po doon, ang sinabi po ng board, pwede na kayong mag-devise ng online trainings, ang sabi po. So, yung sinasabi po ni Chairman kanina, actually, ay totoo po, talagang nagde-devise, kaya may mandato na po sila na mag-devise na po ng trainings. Dito naman sa CDA proper, magsisimula po sapagkat pag-uusapan po ng ating Board of Directors, palagay ko bukas sa kanilang board meeting yung pong PRS on alternative na sir, yung hindi na online na po ang pag-uusapan natin na mode of training bukas sa kanilang board meeting. So unti-unti po lahat ng question ninyo on how will you tackle the trainings, is it by webinar or is it by person face to face? The CDA has an answer already. Through the pronouncement of our chairman kanina, nakita naman at si Ma'am Lac Pardillo. And then through the answer of the whole board in formulating the cooperative comprehensive action plan against COVID, which doon po nakaplano na lahat ang Cooperative Development Authority na pagkaroon ng mga alternative trainings. So yun po yung binabanggit ni chairman po kanina. Binanggit ko lang po yung dokumento na ginawa po nila sa board po under the leadership of our director. Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Edie Ray. And another question po from IMPC of Silang Cavite. Since the co-op closed the business during ECQ and no income during that time, how can we address our members' regular savings deposit and term deposit on their interest?
So income, how can they pay interest? No income nga eh. No economic activity. And so along that line, what is really possible that you can continue now your operation, because that is the scenario. No operation, no economic activity, no income. But then you have to pay, you have the obligation to pay interest. Now, how would you balance that? No? I think that is one. And so along that line, if we look at it this way, if the board will say, but you have to pay, so the members will be very happy. Tapos galit ko sa CDA. So, how would you balance that? I-balance ko natin maganda. Kasi, this is very, abnormal times, no? Pandemic. You have no economic activity. And so along that line, is it possible for you to now recommend to CDA na is it possible for us not to pay the interest because we have no income? Yung mga ganyan eh. Kasi for us, no, we cannot just say like this, open your mouth and then lunukin yan, hindi pwede. Kailangan po merong analysis. We cannot just say that. Kaya nga siguro, then, this is the scenario. You have deposits of your members and you have the obligation to pay interest, but you have no economic activity. And so malulugi kayo. And so for example, so how you know balance? For us, no, sa CDA being a literary agency, perhaps we have to hear two sides, di ba, Idere? Pakinggan natin. Ano ba ang kwan? Baka kasi kami, pag nag-decide kami, and we will issue, for example, we issue a circular, you have to pay the teacher obligation. Matutuwa ang mga membro, magagalit naman kayo sa amin. Pag sabi namin huwag, baka naman magalit sa amin ng mga membro. Ibalansin natin kung mabuti, but that is the reality of the times. Di ba, Idere? So,
yes,
ito ang pa natin, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Yan ang pa namin. No?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And meron kanina yung sa ano yon sa savings and sa deposits. Ngayon naman po sa salaries. Co-op employees did not receive salaries, no work, no pay during ECQ. Applied for DOLE's camp program but did not qualify. Are they not eligible for salaries from co-op if not eligible from DOLE's camp?
Actually, no, these questions, no, are being raised not only by the cooperatives, no. It is being raised by all, well, various business. Doon nga sa Amerika, may looting na because they are not being paid and everything. Kaya nga po, medyo pa nito medyo very complex ang problema. And so along that line po, no, let us now study very well what is in the best interest of the cooperatives, of the economy, of every members. This should be balanced very well. Now, the questions should be a subject of thorough analysis, if I may. Siguro nga po, no, Idre, and I suggest, baka po iko natin ito. Kasi, for example, I would like to throw back the question to one who asked that. What is your recommendation? I'd like to ask the other cooperatives nationwide, if you are given this particular scenario, what is your recommendation? Kasi po, if we, for example, will say this and that, it will make some happy, it will make others sad. For example, look at America, different kind of concept. President Trump will say this, then another will say that, and then mga ganyan. So, it is not that easy. And so along that line, siguro ganito lang po natin, no? Will play safe. If, for example, we have some questions like that, and you know what, we are living in the most abnormal times. This is very unique scenario now. Siguro, if I may, I just would like to say na, let us be a little bit broad-minded and comprehensive in our own analysis. If there are some questions like that, sir, siguro po, if I may, we would like to ask, no, Idre and my honorable highly esteemed members of the board,
Yes,
perhaps you can give us a full picture, because in our cooperative, this was happening. And so along that line, so what would be the best approach? Perhaps my first question would be like this: what is it that you would like to do? Siguro, ito natin i-direct, no? Sa mga ganun na. Then, sa board, alam mo naman, we've been meeting. And if it needs the imprimatur from the board, then we will subject it to a meeting immediately, direct. But you should have input. Kasi po, we follow the democratic process here, di ba, Sikla? We do not just impose our will. Makikinig po kami sa inyo. Yan po ang namin democratic process.
Mr. Chair, can I also add?
Yeah, please.
Yung sa question nila, no, na yung co-op ay pwede bang kasi wala silang sweldo, parang they wanted to receive as the salary yung 3 months na naka-lockdown tayo. Yung ba, Ms. Glo, yung tanong? Kasi
Yes,
ganito, inupuan natin sa DOLE yan, ano, as a cluster head ng labor. Inupuan natin sa DOLE yan. Ang agreement po kasi is kung kaya mong sagutin yung kasi isa lang yan private ka, co-op ka, or cooperative ka, or yung corporation ka, pareho lang ang treatment ng DOLE niyan. Kasi when it comes to labor, talagang wala tayong magagawa dyan kung hindi sumunod sa DOLE. Ang treatment ng DOLE niyan, kung kaya mong sagutin ng sweldo ang iyong mga tao habang naka-lockdown, okay yun ang agreement. Pero kung hindi mo kayang sagutin at within the range ka ng sinasabing small and micro co-op at qualified ka, tinutulungan ka ng DOLE sa camp. Pero pag hindi ka qualified for some reasons, hindi na natin alam yun dahil sa DOLE yun. Pero yun nga po ang agreement, kung kaya ng isang business sagutin yung sweldo ng tao within 3 months or 2 months and a half, sasagutin mo yon. And ang CDA naman, may mga provision na binigay doon kung paano sila gagastos ng pera. At kung pagdating sa dulo, kung meron silang aid doon sa kanilang mga empleyado at nagsobra sila sa budget, tinuruan din sila na at the end of the year, doon sa kanilang financial statement, ano ang treatment doon. So, ako, walang reason na hindi alam ng co-op yun, mga officers, kung makita nila yung DOLE issuances and CDA issuances, pag binasa nila pareho yon, alam ko makakakuha sila ng idea how to do it. Hindi ko lang alam paano yung sa management ng co-op kung talaga bang i-allow nila o hindi. Actually, nasa management ng co-op yun eh. Kasi may issuances pareho ang DOLE at ang CDA. Pag pinagtagpo nila yon, makakakita sila ng solusyon. Yun po, Mr. Chair.
Miss Glo?
Yeah, thank you so much for your Asiklat, no? Pero I think if that's the mindset of the DOLE at that, siguro ikaw natin. I think ang kanya is that the foremost question will be the capability of the cooperative to pay even if there's no operation. Yun eh. Yung baka sabi ng cooperative, sige, we'll pay but we have to close. Kasi lugi na tayo. Yung mga ganun ba? So I guess that is the mindset of the DOLE. But yung sabi ko nga kanina, yung tama naman sabi ni Asiklat, na kailangan isidyohan din natin mabuti. But we need input from you. Yung mga kwan talaga, other information. For example, yung sabi ko kanina based on that, what is your recommendation? O, mga ganun ba? What are the scenario ahead if you will do this and you will do that? A little bit kwan ba? Comprehensive. Okay? So, thank you for that.
Sir, if I may add, sir.
Yes.
Siguro, batay dun sa sinabi ni Chairman at sa sinabi ni Ma'am Lac Pardillo po kanina, subukan na tingnan ninyo ng mga manggagawa, pakiusapan nila ang management ng kooperatiba na tingnan yung financial statement, tingnan nila yung optional fund. Kasi may ibinigay na memorandum ang CDA na tingnan ninyo ang optional fund ninyo para tulungan yung mga manggagawa at saka yung mga ibang membro ng kooperatiba. So, ang assignment ninyo ngayon ay tingnan yung optional fund. Funded ba ito talaga? Kung funded yan, pwedeng pagtulong-tulungan na maging source ng benepisyo ng ating mga manggagawa sa kooperatiba.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ma'am Lac. Thank you, Yusek. And we have another question po. If Community Development Committee be made mandatory, in addition siguro dun sa present na committees ng mga Community Development Committee be made mandatory.
Sir, yata yung ano?
The community development, what do you call that?
Committee. Baka ang ibig niya sabihin, sir, wala kasing name dito. Baka in addition to the existing na committees ng co-op, Community Development Committee to be made mandatory.
Is that included in the may legal provision ba yan? Yan ang kwan idire. Yung kanya
yes, sir.
And other
creation of those committees. I guess that is very clearly stated in the law.
Yes. Other committees, sir.
The other committees that is within the the decision of the cooperative that this is necessary because of the following grounds and everything. Siguro, CDA cannot tell, but abide by that particular recommendation of the cooperative. No? What are the bases? Kasi sa amin naman, as regulatory agency, we abide by the provision of the law. Diba? So yun yun. I think that's the answer there, Ms. Glo.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And there is a posted suggestion, sir. Since CDA is a member of the BP2 Council, the role of CDA is very important in the Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa program. In view of this, there is a need of a strong partnership with the cooperatives and the LGUs. From Edwin Bostillos.
Well, thank you so much, Edwin, for that, no? Yeah, as we were meeting yesterday sa Committee on Co-op Development, I appreciate what you have said there, na kailangan talagang merong ang mga participation ng CDA at other agencies. I thank you for that. Now this time, ito po ang ating we were requested by the council to present our roadmap ahead, a roadmap on that. And if I may, I'd like to give you that, no? It's quite long. Mga 10 pages yon. Pero if I may, I just would like to summarize. Ang pampo talaga, we see the very important role of the cooperatives, especially in agricultural development, the agri-cooperatives. Kasi ganito ito eh. Meron kaming analysis na sinabi ni Edwin na why are the farmers leaving the rural areas? Kasi sa research na nakita ko, no, done by Xavier University, bawat 5 raw magsasaka, lalo na yung mga kabataan, ay umaalis. Because farming has become non-viable. Why should it be, bakit non-viable? Sabihin ko sa inyo totoo. Kasi, lalo na itong tarification, itong nagkuhan ko sa study nila, for example, other countries in Southeast Asia are just actually producing rice at about 5 to 6 pesos per kilo. The Philippines is still producing it at 13. Ngayon, naglabo-labo na ang rice na galing sa ibang bansa, hindi na mabili ang rice nila. It's just an example. So, they close their kwan. Say, alis na kami rito. Lugi na kami. Wala na kwan. So, isa yan. Ngayon, marami kaming analysis. The other one, ang mga IPs, we're just here in Bukidnon. Why are you leaving farming? Tingnan mo naman ang nangyari sa amin. Nawala ang aming mga lupa. Sa kami pupunta. And so, along that line, we are a little bit realistic, Edwin. Tingnan namin mabuti, bakit umaalis ang mga magsasaka? Magja-janitor na lang sa Manila, magda-driver, ano ba yan? Kaya ang sa namin, that is food security. So along that line, we analyze very well. It is a great social injustice if the farmers are not in control of their mode of production and marketing. Who profits, who benefits, who controls? It's not the farmers. Big business are doing that. So how do you do that, Edwin? You do that by way of empowering our farmers through cooperativism. And so along that line, we have been saying that, alam mo itong sa pagsasaka, binibili lang pala yung fertilizer, 100 peso ammonium sulfate sa Ukraine. Pagdating sa Mindanao, 1,500 na. That is a big social injustice. Kaya nga sabi ni, let us correct this. And so along that line, ang mga kooperatiba rito sa Mindanao, they have been producing organic fertilizer. They have been producing organic pesticide and herbicide. You go to Hingog, they're doing that. And so along that line, that is our framework. Ang sabi namin, make farming viable para hindi umalis ang mga magsasaka sa kanilang pagsasaka. Because they are the unsung heroes. They are the, they produce the food and yet ang kanilang lamisa, walang pagkain. Kaya po kami, we salute, no? Isang pagpupugay kay Senator Bongo. Tama po ang talaga ang paliprobinsya. But this time, ang sasabi po namin, that cooperatives, lalo na po ang mga itong medium at large, to now really coordinate with CDA and other offices. Kasi pinakita namin ito niya sa aming roadmap. Ang laki talaga magawa ng mga big cooperatives at saka mga medium in bringing back. For example, kinuha namin, like dito, you go to Bukidnon, hundreds of thousands of hectares in Talakag are without, walang tanim. O ngayon sabi namin, nakatayo ng training center ang CDA. O ngayon, pumasok ang mga kwan. O anong gagawin namin, Chairman? O sige, PLDT, magpapatay tayo ron. They will now be coming here, perhaps next week. Sabi ni Vice Chair Serge. O ano mangyari? Pag nagtayo sila ron, yung hundred of thousands of hectares nila na walang tanim, matataniman. Paano matataniman? Kailangan nila ng capital niyan. O big cooperatives, pwede ba? Magtayo tayo ron ng nursery, maglagay tayo ng coffee plantation, maglagay tayo ron ng kakao, maglagay tayo, yun ang ginagawa sa other part. O hindi sila babalik. Babalik sila. But this time, it should be in coordination with the cooperatives. Yun po ang pinakitang roadmap and makikita po nila. It's so amazing. Pati nga ang mga former combatants of the Imailip are now coming back. Imagine that. So yun yun ang pa natin. If we say, give you all of this framework na sinabi. So thank you so much for that, Edwin.
Okay, very good. I think this will be, we are at 4:39 p.m. and we're still in with our Co-ops e-forum. We're still running live, but I think we will be entertaining just one last question, sir, or one reaction. Good afternoon. I think co-op business continuity plan should be the first priority for co-ops to move on. This is from Marilyn Casinas. It's just her comment, and this will be the last.
I will give us the last.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes, sir. Business continuity plan daw, ma'am.
Co-op business continuity plan should be the first priority for co-ops to move on.
Oh, actually, sa co-op yun. Nakita nila, kasi yung co-op business plan ng individual cooperatives, hindi kasi pwedeng panghihimasukan ng CDA yun. Tama ba ako, Chairman?
Tama.
Nasa kanila if they observe that they need the continuity plan dahil sa pangyayaring ito, sila po ang dapat na susunod. Hindi po pwedeng diktahan ng CDA na yan ang dapat. No. Kasi may autonomy ang cooperative sa pagpapatakbo. Hindi po si CDA manghihimasok nun. Sila po ang nakakita kung ano ang mas pangangailangan nila.
Yeah, tama si Asiklat. They are the primary stakeholders. And they conditions.
Dugtungan ko lang, i-reinforce ko lang yung sinabi ni Ma'am Lac. Tama yung ano. Actually sa kagustuhan ng CDA na ang mga kooperatiba ay siyang maging magtakda nung kanilang gustong pamamaraan ng business continuity, ay meron tayong mga ihinanda na business community training, business continuity trainings. Meron din po sa guidelines natin na ang kooperatiba ay tutulungan ng Cooperative Development Authority patungkol po sa paghahanda. So sa atin, yung environment, the regulatory or the policy environment regarding business continuity for cooperatives, yung tayo sa CDA ang naghahanda, pero through trainings, through encouragement, and then ngayon, ang kooperatiba naman ang dapat gumawa ng kanilang mga dapat gawin sa kanilang mga lugar dahil binigay na ng CDA kung ano ang direksyon patungkol sa kanilang business continuity at kung paano gawin. So yun po yung ating sagot po dyan.
Thank you very much, Edie Ray, and thank you very much, Sir Orlan, Asek Lac, and all of our si Asek Lazaga is still on. And
Yes. May
yes,
I
thank you.
last one thing, ma'am. Can I still
Yes.
give some inputs?
Yes,
Sa
sir.
ngayon po, we are in close coordination with the Department of Agriculture, DTI, at yan po ang sinisikap namin na maging successful ang aming linkaging from small co-op to big co-ops. As a matter of fact, nag-ano po kami last week, at kinausap namin ng Mayor ng Dolores kung saan humingi at nag-apila ang isang yakap at halik cooperative na kung maaari ay matulungan sila sa kanilang agricultural crops. At nagsuggest po kami na magkameron at buhayin muli ang Bagsakan Center upang sa gayon ay ma-connect na namin kung saan naman napakaswerte naman namin at rumisponde kagad ang ilang malalaking cooperatives na handa silang kuhanin. So tutulungan po natin hanggat sa ating makakaya ang maliliit na co-ops para naman sila ay makaahon sa minimiti ng CDA na maalis ang kahirapan sa bawat kooperatiba.
Miss Glo?
Hello? Yan lang po. Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much po. Thank you very much.
Miss Glo?
Yes, sir.
Mayroong text lang former BP, Land Bank BP Rogelio Dical, and
Yes, sir.
si kaibigan natin si Mr. Nick Jimenez tungkol sa General Assembly. Rest
Yes, sir.
assured po na gagawa po ang Board of Directors po natin sa pangunguna po ng ating Chairman, Yusek Orlando Rabanera, ng memorandum circular. Mag-i-issue po sila ng memorandum circular on primary cooperatives for General Assembly kung paano natin i-treat. So, nakaringgan nyo na yung mga pangunang ni Chairman kanina, alam nyo na kung saan ang direksyon. Ano po? So, kaya
Yes,
lang di pa nila isinusulat. So,
Yes, sir.
abangan ang susunod na kabanata po.
Yes.
Very nice.
Pwede kong dagdagan yung sa General Assembly.
Yes, sir.
We have already been discussing regarding that matter, and for several circumstances in the board, I have already proposed na i-postpone talaga yan yung General Assembly until such time na may cure na ang COVID. So, klaro naman yung memorandum circular na i-release natin until such time na i-left itong national health emergency. Doon din pwede pa magkaroon ng General Assembly or in time na kasi extended yun Although 3 months lang siya, pero may ano yon dugtong na until such time that the national health emergency is lifted. So, tomorrow, that will also be tackled in the board para ipalabas na yung bagong memorandum circular para wala nang malito na mga cooperative.
Okay po,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you sa ano. Thank you very much sa ating mga administrators. But now, I think it will be time for calling again ED Ray for the parting words and the closing message for this Co-ops e-forum. Executive Director Ray Elevaso.
Salamat, Islo. Sa ating pong Chairman Orlando Rabanera, and all the members of our Board of Directors, CDA Board, and CDA directors all over the country and in the central office and other staff, and to all of you, mga kasama natin sa Kilusang Kooperatiba at sa mga baguhan na ka-Facebook natin, mga ka-Facebook sa CDA Facebook. Maraming salamat po. Unang-una ay pagpapasensyahan nyo na po yung mga technical glitches. Alam nyo, ang Cooperative Development Authority ay baguhan, pero unti-unting nagiging veterano na sa mga ganitong pagpupulong sa web. Ano po? So, patuloy po namin i-enhance ito, at gaya ng sinabi po kanina, every 2 weeks we will have the e-forum, the Co-ops e-forum, and maasahan nyo po na lalawak ang mga pinag-uusapan, at hanggang pupunta tayo sa mga clusters na kanina ay nabanggit. Kung napapansin nyo ang ating mga assistant secretaries, may mga cluster. So tuloy-tuloy po ang ganito natin, magiging detalye po hanggang sa cluster groupings natin ang mga usapan. So manatili po tayong patuloy na sumusubaybay at ibalita po natin, palawakin po natin ang reach ng Facebook ng Cooperative Development Authority ng information hanggang sa abutin natin ang milyon-milyong tagapanood at tagapakinig at taga-mention ng mabuhay ang kooperatiba sa Pilipinas. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Buhay po kayo.
Thank you very much. Magandang hapon din po sa lahat ng mga nakisama sa atin ngayon for this Co-ops e-forum. Soft launching will be running every 2 weeks, first Wednesday and third Wednesday of the month. So expect us for the second edition on June 17 at 2 to 3:30 p.m. Pasensya lang ngayon sa medyo nag-over ang time kasi nga it's the first time and hindi pa naayos yung mga technical glitches kanina. But for the next time, we hope to do better, and we see you again for the next Co-ops e-forum brought to you by the Cooperative Development Authority. This is Gloria V. Barrido of CDA Cagayan de Oro. Good afternoon, magandang hapon, magandang gabi, magandang araw sa lahat ng nakisama sa amin. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang kooperatiba.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi, Ma'am Glo. Hi, Ma'am Glo. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry po. Yes, ma'am. Wala man.
Yan.
Hello, ma'am.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Buhay pa ako, ma'am.
Kumusta po?